I knew that it was going to be gorgeous in the woods when the road in looked like this. We take it for granted, but a lot of people never even get to see a road this pretty, let alone a trail or a lake. Even the outhouse at the trailhead looked like a painting. Hubert and I got skunked the last time we hiked in here. I can't speak for him, but I felt compelled to avenge myself on this body of water. Without knowing for certain, I think I must have spent a disproportionate amount of time outside in autumn as a boy. I know that it's almost everybody's favorite season, but there's something about it that goes deeper than memory for me. The smell of the woods, the crunch underfoot, the leaves swirling behind the car ahead of you, drives me crazy. A friend of mine told me not to bother hiking too deep in this late in the season, that the trout slow down to a crawl and it wouldn't be worthwhile to try to get them to bite, that the leaves make an unfavorable change to the pH of the water. I told him that I'll believe it after I'm skunked 3 more times. 3 miles of gentle uphill wasn't too bad. I packed a little smarter and a little lighter than the first time I came in. And I made a few modifications to my paddleboard that I was pretty excited to try out.
Alright, so I finished my little contraption last night just for this trip. So I've got my rod mounts right here on the ruler. I've got everything filed down nice and smooth. And then with the scrap piece that I had cut off this end, I attached it here with just a single bolt. And I can pack it up and roll it up inside the paddleboard. But then when it's time to go, I can flip this down so that when I do catch a fish, I've got this lever here to press it against the paddleboard instead of flipping my whole setup over. So I think that'll work pretty well. I'm just going to zip tie it. I'll snip these just so it looks pretty. I haven't played video games in a very long time, but I'm old enough to remember when Halo 2 came out and you could use 2 guns for the first time in a game. I feel like if this works as well as it looks like it's going to, I just became a very dangerous man on the water. And we're trolling.
Making my way to a site for the night, I met a guy on the water who had been staying in the second lean-to.
How you making out? All right? What a perfect day. No, we just got to the first shore there, the first lean-to. So as soon as I get this backpack off, then I can start really fishing. Oh, really? Were you friends with the Marine I saw coming out of the woods? Yeah, I bumped into him. He said you guys were doing pretty good.
He and his friends had been crushing it, with 29 fish between them in their 4-day stay.
Yeah, no wonder you're staying in here.
So much for the sleepy trout theory.
I'm only staying for tonight, so hopefully I have as much luck as you.
He generously shared what color spoons and depths he had been working that had worked best for him.
I appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
He had just rounded the corner when I hooked into my first fish, which I tucked into the moss to keep cool for supper.
He's not a big fish, but he's a fish. What do you think, Hubert?
I dropped pack, had a quick snack, and set back out.
Good jump. You're getting good at that.
Even fighting the wind, my new system worked great.
Another little guy.
I hooked into 2 more small fish and released both. And that fellow's 29 fish, I was concerned that he didn't make any boasts about the size of them. As fun as it is to catch anything, I'd much rather catch one big fish than a dozen dinks. After a lull, I found one more for the day, the first over 12 inches. With him released, I decided to go set up camp. That's not a small fish, it's just a really big fire. Somebody had told me that it doesn't turn out as good cooking it right over the fire like that. This is the first time that I've done it, and honestly, I would certainly do it again. The brook trout in these Adirondack ponds, the meat is so orange that it is very much salmon-like almost. And salmon is my absolute favorite. This is a pretty close second. But even a little guy like this has a lot of meat on his sides. And it does taste fantastic.
Come in, buddy. Go ahead. I'm coming too. You ready? Let's get some good rest.
Morning was beautiful. Last time I was here, there were half a dozen loons. This time it seems there were just 2 stragglers that hadn't made their way to the coastal waters for winter yet. As stubborn as me, fishing as late as they could into the fall.
I forgot my cup.
After a pot of coffee and some breakfast, we packed up and set out to battle the wind. And it was a battle.
Oh yeah, I'm toast.
Thankfully, it was blowing toward the shore that I needed it to. If it hadn't been, I likely would have needed to hike the whole mile-plus length of the lake back out.
I tell you what, me and Hubert, we are pinned down pretty good. It blew us right to the mouth of this brook. I'm hung up on everything. I can't get anywhere. I don't really want to, but I think we're gonna have to call it. This is not doable. We're going nowhere. We made it. Less from my paddling and more for the wind dying down a little bit. But that was pretty rough over there.
I didn't land anything to brag about this trip, but I wasn't skunked either. I had come to settle a score, and I enjoyed fish from a bed of moss, a pot of hot coffee on a misty lake, and the final echo of loons on the water. Maybe my buddy was right, that the fishing wasn't worth the trip. I'll let you decide. But I know my answer.